I've been reading the book of Job, and Job chapter 36, verse 5, and then verses 11 to 15 say God is mighty, and that is for sure because I've experienced his glory and power supernaturally around the world in many continents, and I am in full agreement, undeniable, the inescapable, the almighty God is most powerful. He does not despise, however, anyone. God's a loving God. God is love. And God is mighty in both power and understanding. The godless, however, are full of resentment, the Bible states in Job 36, verses 11 to 15. Not only full of resentment because when God punishes them, they refuse to cry out to him for help. They die when they're young after wasting away their lives in immoral living. But by means of their suffering, God awakes them through adversity to get their attention and turn the wayward and rescue those who suffer. So circumstantial pressure is one of the ways God gets people's attention who are hard of hearing, stiff-necked, stubborn, rebellious, and refuse to listen. So when people are going through trouble, it's not always in your best interest nor their best interest to help them other than to point them in the direction of God and to enable them to learn to make a course correction, make some corrections in their character, and teach them to live uprightly. If somebody is continually smoking and they get lung cancer and they ask you to go buy them a pack of cigarettes when they're in the hospital, that's not helpful. If somebody squanders their money and doesn't save it, and then all of a sudden they need money for food because they spent it all on alcohol or on something stupid like buying excessive amounts of clothes and fashion and cars, sports cars and things, but they have no money to put gas in that car and they have no job and they just want to live off of you and like a parasite survive off of others, then you need to let them suffer a bit because that'll help them realize the error of their ways and make a course correction. So a lot of times parents do their children an injustice and a disservice by what they think is helping them, but all they're doing is perpetuating their rebellion and their disobedience and their immoral living. But God isn't like a democratic government that just gives the poor money. He looks at the behavior and he honors the upright who live with integrity, and those who are living immorally, God doesn't bless them. He blesses those who are diligent, working hard, living upright, and utilizing their gifts, talents, and abilities that he bestowed upon them. Whereas others who just think life's one big party and they can lean on mom and dad for money, sure, they might suck mom and dad dry, but they're not going to get anything from God because God gives and blesses those who are obedient and obey him and serve him and honor him and love him. So take a word of wisdom here from the book of Job and don't always intervene in the midst of others' adversities and pain and suffering. Don't try to play God. Let God be God and let God speak through circumstances when those who are wayward in heart refuse to listen, because that's one of the ways he gets their attention and causes them to have a checkup from the neck up and lift their head up to heaven where their help comes from and where they can have divine light, inspiration, revelation, guidance, and a divine great awakening to change and transform their character.